guys. Today, get that out of my eyes. We are going to work on a 3D gnome cup. That's what I was trying to think of. And there is a YouTube video up, but it had some issues. I know you're not going to get this message until after it's resolved. But the thing is, I had music going in the background while I was working. And YouTube says that's a no-no. So they went in and muted large chunks of my video randomly for whatever song caught their interest. So I had to go back in and tell them that I was fixing the error of my ways and put horrible B-track freaking music over the spots, which means I will have to either figure out a voiceover or leave it. It's not a big tutorial. It's things you've seen before. It's actually my Diana cup, and actually it will affect the Harley cup as well because I worked on them the same days and I had music going because we had a nice storm and I was bored out of my mind and I was trying to block out household noise. But apparently I won't do that anymore. Long story short, we're working on a gnome cup today. We've had 3 snow days coming up on a 3-day weekend. So that's 6 days with the husband and the child home, locked together. But on day 5, they're calling for a record amount of snowfall and record cold temperatures here in Arkansas. Yay! We were supposed to get between 4 on the low side, guaranteed, and 12 on the high side. So we will come out of it with the minimum of 4 inches of snow when it's supposed to be 70 degrees. And then that means, of course, more snow days. Yay! Okay. So, for your gnome cup, what you're going to need is your tumbler size of choice. This is Ozark Trail, 30 ounce. Oven dry clay, or oven baked clay. You can paint it, you can do whatever to it. You're going to need your glitter, your paint, whatever you want to use on your gnome. I will probably use both. Yay for notifications. And go from there. I will be referencing a picture every once in a while on here. So that's what you'll hear, or you'll see in the background, or you'll see that I have the computer here. So, all right, let me get set up here and then I'll be back. Okay guys, we're back. I actually forgot that I was recording this and I had just started working on it, so I'm going to clean it again. Really, there's no need to do this because, well, yeah, the whole thing is going to need it again before we bake it. So anyway, what I have done so far, and you'll see new little things here. I'm trying to make sure that the cup stays in y'all's line of sight. Okay, sculpty clay, soft, it's pliable. You just take it, tear off a hunk, knead it until it's nice and warm. I'm going to make a ball out of it. And then what I'm going to do is get a ball the size that I want that's proportioned to my cup. Hold on, please, coffee break. Okay, now I've got my ball. I made it round. I'm going to see where I want to start on my cup. And I'm going to take the ball, place it where I want the nose to be, because this is what this is going to be, and then flatten it out a little bit. Try not to make it too flat, and then of course you have to watch where you indent and try to smooth it out. Okay, I think that's where I want his nose to be. Nope, he's all lopsided here now. But you kind of want it to form to the cup on that side. Have to watch your rings too, because this clay is super soft once it gets warm, which it's supposed to be. And don't worry if you get like little specks in your clay. And yes, my cup is not prepped. We're going to spray paint all of this when we're done, before we go on to anything else. So, nose is on. I'm going to lay it down so gravity is working with us. I'm going to move the cup, because now we need to make a snake. You guys remember how to make a snake from art class, right? We've done elementary art before. It's been a minute. Been lots of minutes. Like probably, oh dang, it's probably been 25 years since I had an art class. I mean, I took different types of classes in college, but none was art. They considered my photography class a fine arts class, but it was not. Anyway, I needed my clay, got it smooth. Sorry if I'm rocking the camera too terrible. And, well, I craft glitter, so there's going to be some glitter in this picked up, but that's okay. We want our snake, we want to roll it out, and I don't know, I want it, don't fall off, nose. I'm going to actually get a bigger piece of clay here. Heater going, and it's I have the one dog that's by my side constantly no matter what, and then I've got the other dog that's laying in front of the heater. Yeah, I'm in here. I'm close enough to you, but you know what, there's a heater on over here. But my Drago, he's my buddy. He stays with Mom. Oh, and here comes Freya. She's jealous. Yes. Okay, now go lay back down. Mama's working. Lay down. He's a good boy. I got clay in my rings already. In fact, I will try to cut this video as short as possible, so you will get an idea of what I'm doing, and then we'll go from there. We'll get this snake going. Okay, I want a uniform shape. Now, let's see, his little nose is still on. not quite long enough to do what I want it to do. So we'll make it a little thinner, and it'll make it a little longer. But we don't want to make it too thin because we have to spread it out on our cup once our cup gets going here. I think that let's see here. That's where I want it to end, but I want it to maybe be a little more droopy on this side. I don't know. Should I take it to the back and set it to the side? Yeah, I think I will. That'll give me more room to play with what I want to do. Okay, and then I'm going to press it together back here. And I should have a butter knife in here to do this with, but I don't. Actually, I'm going to cheat and just use my scissors. Okay, I'm going to cut it right there. Okay, that's where it came together. I'm going to kind of flatten it out a little bit. And what I will do, I want that touching the cup. Oh, I just knocked his nose off. Oh no. It's okay. It's okay. We got this. It's one good thing about the clay is it leaves a mark where you have done things. So there's his nose. Alright, there's his nose. Make sure his nose sticks back on. Okay. We can redo the snake if necessary. And I'm trying to do this where y'all can see still. And I want, I think his nose got pushed down because I wanted it higher than that. Alright, so I'm going to try to get this to attach and stick just a little bit along the ridges of my cup. Alright, so that is that. Now I'm going to take a break to take the dogs out and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Now, where were we? Okay, we've got everything done. We've got this pinched together and smooth. Now, what I'm going to do from here is take on this side only and mash some of that down onto the cup. Now, the reason you do it on this side only is because if you do it here, you lose your hat rim. And that nose is just going to give me fits today. And it's going to move things, so always be sure to keep checking where you're at and what you're doing. Now I'm going to get this blended in. You don't want it to get completely blended into your cup because you want it to look like a hat. But I'm going to do this all the way around and then I'll be back. We're back. I have smashed it all down, and I removed the nose. It kept falling off, and I didn't want it to end up getting flattened any more than it was on one side. But okay, what I'm doing now is I just take it and kind of take my finger and kind of soften that edge where I smashed it down. I don't know, can you see all those little ripples where my finger went where I smashed it down? I'm just going to try and smooth those out just a little bit here, so I don't want them to stand out so prominently. And then make sure there's not a ridge, because you know it's a hat, it's not. Just smooth it out the best you can without making it flat. It depends on how warm your room is and how soft your clay is, how easily it'll get done. My room stays warm because I like my epoxy to work at its optimal temperatures. So it stays about 75, 80 degrees in here. Okay, and just smooth it. Be right back. Sorry about that. Dog had my new kettlebell adjustment screw and decided she was going to be chewing on it instead of leaving it alone. I had to go get it and rescue it because she will destroy something in a heartbeat. Alright, so just smooth it out, because you don't, like I said, you don't want any big ridges or anything there. Don't have to be perfect, but you want it to be somewhat what you have in mind. All right, there's that. All right, so if it doesn't smooth out one way, go the other way with it. It'll move. It's clay. Just watch your pressure. All right, now what I'm going to do is add some wrinkles to this hat. I've got my leftover snake here that I cut off. I'm going to shorten it. And you don't have to. It just, I think it'll look cute with some dimension in the hat instead of just leaving it flat. Now the big thing you're going to do with this is you are going to smooth both sides out. Let's see, do I want one? I don't know, I may want one over the top here, kind of like a little wrinkle there. Let's see if I have room here to do this. Like I said, you want to smush out both sides of this because it's just a wrinkle in the hat. It's not a rim. I think I like that. Here, let's put his nose back on and see. Yeah, I think I like that. So, there's a couple little nicks where my fingernails have hit that I'll smooth out. Before I bake this, I will go around and smooth out anything that's bothering me. I will try not to let my nitpickiness get the best of me. Whoops, something's printing. Hold on. All right, so let's try this again. Got a little freaked out there because I had things in front of the printer that was going to cause a jam. All right, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was doing the ridges, wasn't I? So you smush them down where you want them. Okay. Now, let's see. I think I want another one here. One up here maybe. Oh. But anyway, you know how a floppy hat will lay on your head. Just go in, do that here and there, and I'll be back. I'm done with that part, and all my little clay pieces where I was rubbing. Alright, so what I did is I put that one there, and I smoothed him out. Oh, see all the little shreds coming off from smoothing out, and then I put those on the back. And then I decided to put a little, I don't know, pom-pom, I guess you'd call it, on the tail of his hat, because I just wanted to. And mark my words, I'm going to have to end up remaking this nose, because every time I put it on here, and I'm going to bake it separately anyway, but every time I put it on here to look, see how things look, it ends up falling off. I'm going to end up flattening it or damaging it where I can't smooth it out. You wait and see. But right now, that's how he looks. We're going to do the beard next. Let me take the nose off before I drop it again. And I'll go through and wipe this down real quick before I bake it, of course, and make sure all of those little pieces. But these I smoothed out, just like the edges here, smoothed out to try to blend them into the cup. And then smooth out. Don't want to get it too perfect, but I don't want to leave like pinch marks from my fingers. Because it's wrinkles in a hat. Sorry, I know you can hear the cat outside. She's very upset that the dogs are in here and she's not. All right, so beard. I'm going to set him over here. Please don't fall. And then we'll take a hunk of clay. It's going to have to be a large hunk, so we'll try this here. And we'll have to and see about maybe adding a mustache. I would like to add a mustache. So, what I was saying is I actually went into my pantry and got my old rolling pin that I used to use for fondant. And it has not been used in a little while because I've lost 200 pounds. And in doing so, kind of avoid making cakes now because, well, I like to taste when I make. And you want this out, you want it kind of thick, but you also want uniform thickness. You don't want it thinner in some spots than you have in the other. mustache. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so there's the nose. Get in there. And there is our... So here is Gnomeo. I gotta get the glue, hold on. He is baked, he is cooled, and as cold as it is outside, I am not, I repeat, not going to go out and spray paint him. I am going to just take my time. It's a slow day anyway, and paint him by hand. Now see, I did crack loose a little bit right here in the oven. So just to ensure that he does not go anywhere whenever everything is said and done, I'm going to put a little bit of glue in there. And then when we're done, of course, we're going to glue his nose on. But I want to make sure that this spot is sufficiently attached. All right, now we will put a pretty good amount of that down, not soaking it because tacky glue can take forever to dry. Then our mark, actually, no, we're not. I still have to paint that nose, which is not going to hurt that to sit, in fact. I think I'm just going to leave it because it'll actually work better for me if it dries a little bit. So, I did bring my turntable in, but first, do I want to mix up the paint for his nose first? No, I want to use my acrylic inks is the plan, instead of going out and spray painting in this horrible weather, which for the next 10 days I guess I better get used to. Anyway, we are going to paint this cup in its entirety. Okay, what is up with my brush here? They've all been washed and put away. Apparently, that one was not washed at the greatest in the world. But I'm just going to go over it here with some acrylic ink. I don't want to fill in my lines because I'm actually going to do a cheat method shortly on this stuff when it comes to the texture of his beard. I'm going to paint it white And then take some watered down black paint and put on there, and then wipe it off with a wet rag, and it'll leave everything in the cracks, but we'll take it off of the surface. And like I said, I'm just prepping this, keeping me from having to go and this is actually going to be blue under here, but I will prep it white to begin with. Just like the little pom-pom on his hat's going to be white, so. But all of this will be blue. But first and foremost, I want to prep it white, and then we'll go over it with blue, because I'm going to do blue glitter. But it's all around the beard right now, so I want the beard and everything else to be white. Everything I wanted white except the nose. The nose needs to be prepped. All right. Start on the outside edge. I'm not going to worry about the bottom of it, but that. Now, what I'm going to do, pardon my itchy nose, is I'm going to mix up the blue that I want for his hat and his body. And I'm going to go over everything with that, and then we will be back, okay? Okay, so here he is, all prepped in blue and white. Now, like I said, this is just the prep color. I'm going to use some glitters and make him more appealing to me. And then I'm going to paint his nose and whatnot. But this is I'm going to set this to the side and dry. And I'm going to mix up the color for his nose. And I'll leave the thing running for that and just see where we end up. Okay. Use one of these here to start mixing things. Let's see. I want to get as peachy as possible, so I want some white, of course, and a teensy weensy drop of pink, and a teensy weensy drop of yellow. good. I think it's about fresh tone as I'm going to get on the first try. Let me wipe the brush off here. I want to actually use this brush to put it right in it. But I will also use this brush too. See, there's paint along the edges and I don't want to get to scraping the edges and the bottom and come up with the wrong color. So make sure you're scraping your sides when you're mixing your paint. Yeah, that's probably about as close as I'm going to get to flesh tone. I'm going to actually, I hate to do this because usually if you get it right the first cat out of the bag, you go monkeying with it, you mess it up. Let's see here. How much this is going to lighten when it dries. We'll see, because I'm going to use it. And really, that was some white, a good squeeze of the white, and then in total I put 3 drops of the pink and 6 to 7 drops of the yellow. And you want to get all around the edges here. Because you don't want any of the nose unpainted that's going to possibly show. So. There's coat 1 on the nose. And we got people acting a fool out in the street on the ice. Isn't that just lovely? Oh. I swear every day I'm tested a little bit more when it comes to people. Now, I'm going to sign off and let this dry, and we'll be back. Okay, so let's get back to what we were doing. Nose is painted, nose is drying. Now I want to go and I want to touch up around the beard here, where the beard and the blue of the hat meet, because I do not want the blue fading over. Trying to, I guess I will just, I don't like these cups because the measurements on the inside and they hold the epoxy. If I get cups, I get them with the numbers on the outside and the inside is smooth. So these that come with the epoxy, so I find other uses for them, like paint or ink. I just don't want to waste ink, so it's like, oh, what do I do with it? Where do I put it? Alright, there's that side. Oh, there's some on the pom-pom. See, have to be careful not to touch the blue. My daughter and husband are in there watching movies, and it's like, okay, I know you had virtual class today. What? They don't even. Half the teachers don't even Zoom with them. It's like, okay, I guess they're gonna give you this homework and you just get to guess how to do it. But it's gotten to the point kids don't even get a snow day now because, well, we can go virtual. Before, they all started bringing their Chromebooks home and stuff before all of this. They had what they called AMI packets, and it was just printed out homework that they would bring home at the beginning of the year, and we would have the packet here if they had a snow day, and they would just turn the packet in. But now, they just go virtual and do their homework there. So they get to sit in class all day while it's snowing or what have you. But it's gotten to the point now that, like I said, the teachers don't even Zoom with them. So they just get, this is what you're supposed to do, turn it in. Alright, now once this dries, I will put the blue glitter on. I will not glitter the white. I'm just right now going around touching up where the white and the blue kind of got into each other because, well, I try not to be a perfectionist, but it happens. More times than not, it happens. So, once the nose is dry, I will glue it on, but I don't know if it will be dry before or after I glitter. So we will have to wait and see when that happens, because when the humidity's funky, acrylic paint does funky things. Now the acrylic ink, it's already dry. There's a couple spots in the blue that I'm going to go back over, like right here, where it's lighter. But I have to be really careful because that's where I just had to go over white because I got too close. So, in fact, I'll do that now. Put a little bit of blue on my brush. Just gently, carefully. Touch things up here and there where the white had got on it when I initially painted it, and then it showed through the blue. Because alcohol ink does not cover great, or not alcohol ink, acrylic ink does not cover the greatest in the world, but it works perfectly to prep a tumbler that you're just going to glitter over. And you can't go out and take care of things because, like today, it's nasty outside and cold, and paint does not do well in those circumstances. So I do what I can do And sometimes I just want to cut a corner and get something done quick. I really do. I will not lie about that. Okay, I was gonna say, where did I touch that white while ago to? The blue. It's over here behind the, ooh, I got smacked that pom-pom right in the cup. All right. I think with that, smear this out of there. There's some of that tacky glue is being a pain in the backside. So I'm just going to smear it out of here and cover it back up. I think that has it until everything is dry and I can glue the nose on. But for all intents and purposes, let's do this. For all intents and purposes, it's no nose, Gnomeo. Oh, I see a white spot. I'm glad I did that. But here, let's put him right in the middle. There, now he'll spin evenly. So that's that until everything dries. Okay, we're back and we're just going this way because apparently my computer does not like to record. So what I'm doing is I'm painting, and it's gray, kind of. It's just, actually I want it a little more gray than that because it's just kind of off. I want it to be a little more than just that. We're talking just a little more. Going the smallest measurements I can of black because, like I said, I just want it a little more. I don't want it gray. We'll have it. Yeah, that has it. See, it's not super gray, but it's not stark white either. For goodness sakes, he is a gnome after all. He's not. With all the stuff you have to do to keep white beards and stuff like that from turning yellow or what have you. So, you know, I doubt he's out there putting toner in his beard. So. Then again, I could be wrong. He could be a very bougie gnome. Could be. I know you can't see, but I gotta get close on this part because I don't want to mess up. Now, like I said, what I'm going to do after this dries is I'm going to mix up a black wash. I'm going to paint it on, and then I'm going to wipe it off with a wet rag. And it's going to settle into the cracks and the crevices. And it may not be a black wash. It may just, I don't know. It will give me the texture and the depth that I'm looking for. I'll put it that way. Whatever color I end up getting it in. Alright. My dogs are having a fit because I left them out there. Hold on, I can't handle them crying. I'll be right back. Come on, quit crying. Fred, Drago, come on. All right, lay down. Find a spot and lay down. Yes, so happy. Lay down. Lay down. Sorry, I can't handle them crying. Go lay down in front of the heater. I can't pet you right now. Go. Mommy's busy. They're getting there. Right, there is the mustache done and the beard. Let's get up here and get the sideburns. Without getting into the hat. And I always use just a cheap paper plate for a paint palette. I mean, I have a paint palette, but it's like, ugh. And I have to wash it and what have you. So just mix it up on a paper plate and then throw it away. Make life easier on me. Just trust me, nobody else is gonna. You might as well help yourself out just a little bit every now and then. Okay. So there are the whiskers. Okay. Now, I will let that dry. And I will mix my pull my paintbrush apart. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take some of this water over here. I'm not really that worried about it because what color it is, because it is what it is. And that's actually from my water slide yesterday. That's actually way too much water. I'm not going to mix that much up because it's just a little part. But you just mix them. You know how they make whitewash by water-based paint, white paint. That's basically all you're doing with the black. To make a black wash is just water it down. And I've got white in my brush still, so it's going to turn it kind of gray, but that's okay. This has to dry. And I've got to go make sure I've got plenty of wet paper towels. You can use baby wipes too, but I'm too cheap to buy baby wipes. And I have a bunch of paper towels, so I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll be back to do the wash and see how that goes. Okay, my heart is officially broken. I went to show my husband and ask his opinion so far, and well, he asked me, what's it gonna be, a dragon? Now I gotta rethink my whole does it look like a dragon, guys? Okay. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you, this black wash idea is completely and totally an experiment. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know if I'll have to repaint my gnome after this. And I don't know if the cat's going to attack me because I've not made her room in the chair because she's over here flopping in the floor. Let's see if you're in frame. Yes, you're in frame. Alright, so what I'm going to do without trying to have my arm in the way, these are all wet. You saw me mix up the watered down paint. Let me wipe off my brush here. It's very, very watery, so let's check this here and see if this works on this little section here. We'll do this. And then, do I do dry? Do I do wet? Well, I thought I had it separated, dang it. Well, wet would work if I got there quicker. To move quicker, so I need my hand is not big enough for these 30-ounce cups, so I have to figure out alternative. Okay, so you definitely want it to run down. And that is basically what I'm going for, guys. Let it kind of wash through there. Not a very clean method, but it's giving me the desired effect that I wanted. So, yay me. Alright, so make sure you get all of the underside that you painted gray because you don't want it to stand out. Remember, it's going to wash down into the cracks, so that's what we're wanting here. Alright, let's wash this down now. I really wish I could get you guys a better angle. I do. I'm sorry. Here and there, because you don't want to wipe it out of the cracks, you just want to wipe it off the top, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, this might work better for you, this angle. Okay, so you wipe it, and you use your wet paper towel, baby wipe, whatever, and then you wipe it off. Okay? Just gently. You don't want to wipe to get down in the cracks. You just want to wipe off of the surface. And like I said, this is not the cleanest method on earth, but it works for what I wanted. Alright, now I'm just going to clean up because I've made a heck of a mess, and let everything dry, and then I will be back to glitter. Alright. Oh, and I got black on the pom-pom, which is okay. I still have to acrylic paint over that. So. And then I have to touch up some of the blue that I've rubbed off, because remember, it's water-based. I find it hilarious that it does not come off with epoxy. Epoxy won't make it run, it won't make it do anything, but water will destroy it. Alright. Alright, Mr. Gnomeo. is, let's see, where's the top? That's the top. Hold on, let me dry that off in there before I mess something up. There's the nose. What do you think, guys? Does it work? All right, we'll be back. So, going to start glittering the gnome cup. Trying to decide. I think I will start down here. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna start at the bottom. And we will see about getting the rest of it off whenever the time comes. I'm hoping it does not stick everywhere, because most of everything is dry in here, but I did it again. I'm good at that. All right, here we go, boys and girls. Wish me luck. Okay, that works. That works. Just have to be careful and go slow. And I think with this dark color that I did the cup in, and of course I did my patented thing. Well, it's not patented. I did my thing where I put paint, or actually I used the acrylic ink this time in my Mod Podge. You can use paint, you can use acrylic ink, you can use whatever trips your trigger. And I don't know if I should glitter this or not, but I'm gonna, because I want to, and it's my cup. Whether I keep it or I sell it, I'll sell any cup. I can always make me another. But in this event, it is what it is. It's my creation, I'll put it that way. And if I want to glitter something, I'm going to glitter it. Now I'm going to go over the seam with my Mod Podge all the way around. And I'm going to try to let it dry before I catch up with the rest of it, because I really don't want that seam. And I don't want to have to do a second layer of glitter, because this is all I have left of the sapphire. I mean, I've got a bigger version of it. It's the small, it's not the extra fine. And, well, I'm using extra fine, and I will continue up this side while I let that dry. Now I am not sure exactly how much putting this glitter on is going to affect me getting my nose in place. But I reckon we'll find out. And I seriously hope you guys can see this. I really do, because I'm trying to stay in frame. But it is so hard for me to see. In fact, I'm going to move my light because I no longer have the front-facing camera on. So I'm going to take Gnomeo and set him down over here and adjust my lamp. Maybe I'll just move my lamp back down to where it belongs. Is that too much, or is that's good? Okay. Sorry, I'm old and I'm blind. So, anyway, that helped some of it. I'm not sure where we stopped at over here, so let's go into the glitter a little bit just to be sure we have enough adhesive. And I really should have used more paper. Not really sure why that's stuck there, but hey. We only want the glitter where we put the glue at the moment. Static. Alright, so let's do a bigger area here. Try to knock some of this out a little quicker here because this is going to be a long tutorial the way it is. And I'm about to die. I just heard one of the puppies pop pressure, and it is typically the pit bull. And well, if you have any experience with pit bulls or any other deep-chested dog, you know that it can be lethal. And give him a good tap. Alright, I see where I'm going to have to come back in and add some, which is fine. I don't mind. As long as I can see it, I'm good. Okay, guys, this is how it's going so far. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glitter him, and then I'm going to set him out to dry. Or set him down to dry, and then we will come and we will brush all the loose glitter off we can, and then we will put his nose on. Alright, so here he is, all glittered. He's got to dry, and then I'll brush him off and we'll glue his nose on, and then we will seal him. is with his nose. Hi guys. Had some leftover epoxy that I was working with. I was not quite ready to epoxy him, but I am going to start actually. I'm just using a cheap brush. This is the only coat of epoxy this guy's going to get, and it's going to be super thin. It's not meant to travel because, well, like I just did, I got glitter on his nose, and I was not wanting to do that. And I will have to pick that off here in a minute, one by one. But this is my 3D gnome. I think he is absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love the movie Gnomeo and Juliet. And so he's blue, he's Gnomeo. I will eventually get around to making him his Juliet, and I will figure out a way to do a flamingo cup. It may just be flamingos with water slides or something similar too, but Featherstone will happen. All right, so I think we have epoxy everywhere there. I seriously thought about just painting him because I did not want to do the whole glitter going everywhere. But I had convinced myself that I could do a thin enough layer of epoxy that it wouldn't get everywhere. Yeah, I apparently lied to myself. And this thing is super heavy. Sorry, dogs are scratching. They needed to be with mom, so they're in with mom, but they're scratching. All right, so there's that. And like I said, this guy is incredibly heavy. And I could have made him thinner, his beard and whatnot thinner. I could have, but I didn't want to. I liked the way it come out looking, so. Just doing around the edges of the beard and mustache with a brush, because I have all these little details and stuff that I knew I would have trouble getting my fingers in to do, so. Do not want to put enough on here to make it run. That is not the point of this. The point of this is just to seal it. So, okay. That brush is going to end up getting thrown away now because that was the whole reason I used this, so I could throw it away. And I may actually use it whenever I go up to the glitter part here, but mix up 30 mils here real quick. Actually just did the gnome cup to see if I could I wasn't overly concerned with actually doing it, but I had not worked with clay in forever and I wanted to see if I could do it, and I fell in love with the little guy. So he will probably actually never be used, not be sold. He will probably go on my fireplace mantle with my dragons and just be like knick-knack. Oh, him and Juliet as well. Like I said, there'll be a Juliet and there will be a Featherstone. Alright, so, well, how did that get epoxy on it already? Alright, so, here we are going to try to, hit any places we might have missed, which I don't think I did. I think I was pretty thorough here. In fact, that's where it dripped from. It got on the little pom-pom from the mustache on the other side. Actually going to flood on his nose a little bit because, well, I can't get all the way down in the cracks, so. Try this. I'm not quite sure how it will work out, but we are going to try to do an ultra thin layer of epoxy here on this glitter. It's one of those things I'm just going to have to hit where I can reach. Right at the moment, I can reach it. seal everything. I don't want glitter moving. I don't want anything but a seal. Because if glitter starts moving, it'll get all over his beard and everything else here. So if I want to add a thicker layer, which I will do it after this here. Jesus Christ! Hush. Hush. Drago. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You scared me. What are they barking at? The neighbors. They don't ever get to see those neighbors, and they're out, and oh, jeez. Right in the middle of the recording, I hollered too.
Love you.
I love you too. Okay guys, and with that drama, I think we may have Gnomeo sealed. Not real sure. I think I'm going to turn him around, go the other direction with him so I can see for sure, because with all of the movement his clothes and whatnot, or his hat has, it's really difficult to see if I've got up in here like I should. So with that, I'm going to stop it and get it to go the other way. Drago, it's okay. Lay down. It's fine, baby. He wouldn't hurt a fly unless they were hurting his mama. I am the thing that he is protective the most about. Aren't you, baby? Okay, with that, Gnomeo is sealed. He is. So, I'm going to hit the heat gun slightly, because he's going to have some glitter in his beard. Which he had some to begin with, because for some reason it decided to randomly stick. But all in all, I'm happy with it. So I'm going to grab the heat gun, hit it, get rid of some of the bubbles, and let him spin for a few hours, and then he'll wait until tomorrow, and tomorrow or the next day. I'm not sure. I've got plenty of snow days to work on it. But y'all have a good day. If you like this tumbler or have one you want to see me make, comment down below. Subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care.